PCAE Computer-Aided Environment Project. Sorocaba, Brazil 2020. Biography. Caicon Ricardo Paes Marcino de Almeida. Born in the city of Apa, located in the state of São Paulo, Brazil, he is currently majoring in Information Technology Management. He has some experience in the industrial automation area, where he has already worked as an operator of an automated station for treatment and disposal of lathes waste. Has technical courses in C# programming language, but did not work on software development in a professional way, being an amateur in areas such as electronics, robotics, and even in music, where he plays violin, piano. Abstract. Again, I've been gathering my ideas, forgive my inability to write. One way to implement computing concepts would be to search for various CUDA-core graphics processing instructions, anti-aliasing, VSync, anisotropic filtering, textures, and then design systems that simulate their use. Assumed if recordings of gameplays can be seen in practice using graphics processing. In the development of computational systems, it would be interesting to take advantage of the hardware that comes ready-made, such as video games. You can design systems that take advantage of PlayStation's 3, for example in cluster format, where in each unit you can install a Linux operating system and a middleware standard to control the machines. It would be very interesting to develop experiments to increase processing, such as acquiring neuromorphic computing boards where you can direct a neural network to perform a certain activity. Even quantum computing can now be simulated using appropriate software. Not to mention that there are inexpensive technologies to use, such as optical communication for leisure. For example, replacing the serial one, as in the case of SATA cables, and certain areas of physics greatly influence computing, as in the case of superconductors. An alternative in computer systems would be the parallel processing, where it is possible to direct several bytes at once, which was very limited by magnetic interference. But using if optical transmitters/receivers, a higher speed is achieved only by requiring a PCI card that transforms the bus parallel of video cards in optical communication, which would allow the development of software to direct the processing to other networked machines. Another alternative would be to use parallel processing to use two operating systems on the same machine only by making control via hardware or even software with designed middleware, as has been seen in other positions in this book by others. The need for information would be interesting to a computer with a LED board, where computer information such as processing time, etc., would be transmitted visually larger in large letters so that the information could be transmitted safely. In computing, hardware is often designed in such a way that it has a certain advantage to offer. Such as with an HD, you can design an input and output switching board using optocouplers and a digital controller like a microcontroller that using flip-flops controls the inputs and outputs of a SATA cable and connects several different hard drives on the same cable. The same can be done with various RAMs memories in use as if they were an HD being controlled by a coprocessor, being interesting a software that took advantage of this hardware specifically designed to take advantage of, for example, allocating more memory to the processor in case more accurate latency is not required.